Just YouTube, Dominic here, and today's quick video is going to be about Wi-Fi placement, propagation, and how to get the most out of your Wi-Fi in your house. As you well know, most ISPs, when they install, they choose an outside wall. They punch through it, they put your modem somewhere there, and that generally is also where the router, the Wi-Fi is. And then it's got to get from one end of the house all the way to the other end of the house. So I'm going to show you different tips and tricks you can do to mitigate that, and I'm going to show you how we can help you guys with the placement of the router to get you the best bang for your buck. So let's take a look at what we got here. And if you see here, we have a typical house, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom. It's got a living room, dining room, family area. It's a pretty large house. And the thing about this thing is, most places, when they come in, here's your backyard. So your internet's going to come out from somewhere here. It's going to have a line, it's going to be a telephone pole. And it's going to come in, and they're going to cut into one of these. Generally, it'll be somewhere in one of the bedrooms. If you're lucky, maybe a dining, something here. But either way, one of these back rooms. Let's say bedroom closet. They put the modem here. That's where your Wi-Fi signal is going to be. And then what's going to happen is that signal is going to have to propagate all the way to the other end of the house. And what generally happens is by the time you get over here, that signal is crap. So, but okay, fine, we'll put it on the other end of the house so we get good internet. Well, the problem is you place that thing on the other side, and you're going to come into basically the same issue. Let's say we put it here. Okay, so we'll put it here. Same thing was going to happen. By the time you propagate, nothing. Okay, middle of the house, kind of same thing. Back bedroom, gonna be dead. You're gonna have a good. So you're all usually left with a choice of crappy internet in one room and then really really good internet in the other. But there are a few tips that you can do to help it. An antenna on a router, when it's standing up, is going to have, it's going to propagate flat. Okay, see, perpendicular to the length of the antenna. So if the antenna is pointing up, the signal is going to come out this way. So you can actually aim your antennas. Generally have 2, 5. Some of them now have 8. You're going to want to bend one antenna one way, one antenna the other way, so it'll go up and out. That helps when you've got your cell phone or your laptop turned a certain way, because sometimes the antennas are what they're called polarized. They're designed to catch signal in one or the other direction. They're not always dual polarity. The other thing is, you also, if you have a second story house, this happens to be a single story. If you have a 2-story house, that flat wave is going to be much weaker coming straight up. If it's coming off the top, it still propagates a little bit, but it's not as strong as the signal coming directly out on that plane. So by turning one sideways, one up, you can get the signal to go up to the second story and also propagate around the house on the first story. Now, one thing you do have to be careful of is, now they make modems that are 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz. So you have to make sure that if you have 2 antennas, that one of them isn't 5 gigahertz and one of them isn't 2.4, or else that cuts, basically you turn one end down and you've lost the signal, and you're gonna kill the signal on one side of the house or either direction. So you want to basically, if you do have 2 antennas for one frequency, one sideways, one up. Like I said, that's a second story house, but that's one trick you can try even on a 1-story house to see if maybe the polarity will be better and it'll get a better signal. One advantage we can do is we can usually move them somewhere in the middle. We actually have modems that go through the attic, so we can actually place the modem somewhere central in the house, attached. If it's just a Wi-Fi access point, this is of course an extra charge, but we can actually put in an access point that runs from, let's say the modem is here. We will run a cable through the attic and come out here, and that way you're getting a nice round propagation. You get a good even signal around the house. That's one option. The other option that we can do is that we can is that we can try to place it somewhere central in the house. If you put it on either end of the bedroom, of course in the back, the nice thing is we can put it anywhere in the house. If most of the space, let's say fireplace, living room here, you're spending a lot of time here, kids' bedrooms, you've got an all damn master bedroom, we can say place it here somewhere. You get a nice even signal here, you get an even signal here. But on the kitchen here and obviously in the bathroom, you're going to get kind of a weaker signal, so you're not going to get that bad. But you're not going from either end of the house, or like the regular cable comes when they come out from the back, or they've got to go to one of these back bedrooms here. We can put it centrally located here if there's going to be windows. Kitchen's not always an ideal place for a modem because of you're wasting that really strong signal. When you have in your kitchen that's generally not where any of the computers are. Now they do have smart TVs and smart fridges, but generally bedrooms is where you're going to have your computer's master bedroom, living room where you have your TVs, your video games, your Oculus, your VR. Then you'll generally have a dining or an office room. Sometimes the master bedroom will have an office room attached. So you have to kind of pay attention to where you place that modem. If your kitchen's towards the back of the house, obviously, like I said, you're going to get a terrible signal to the places where you need it most. So those are the kind of quick things to give you an idea of how to get the best bang for your buck for your Wi-Fi. You also want to remember that if they do come with 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz obviously is going to be a much faster internet. It's going to be a much faster throughput. You're going to get faster speed, but the one disadvantage is it does not go to objects very well. So your range is going to be much shorter. So let's say in your living room, let's say your living room, if the modem's here, possibly this bedroom, maybe parts of the family room if there's direct line of sight. Don't know if it's going to get to the master bedroom. It will, but you're going to take a big hit going through all this stuff unless this is open. So generally, the stuff in here, if you have Wi-Fi here, if you can't plug it directly into the modem, if you have to use Wi-Fi, you can use the 5 gigahertz here, maybe in there in the kitchen. Although with the refrigerator stuff, it's going to block a lot of signal. So that's where you're going to want, and then everything else out here, you want to connect it to the 2.4. So let's say all the stuff out here is going to be 2.4. So all the close stuff is going to be 5 gigahertz, and all this stuff is going to be 2.4. All this stuff is going to be 5. And that's kind of the key you have to remember. Faster speeds at 5 gigahertz, less propagation. It doesn't penetrate through stuff. 2.4 gigahertz, a little slower on the bandwidth, but it'll go through walls a lot better, so you can get a longer range. So, like I said, if you're gonna be far away from modem, like I said, back patio on the porch here, you're probably gonna want to use the 2.4 gigahertz because you'll have the best chance of getting there. Even though, like I said, the bandwidth is slower, with the loss you're getting going through all the walls, it'll actually be quicker. So even though your theoretical maximum is faster on 5 gigahertz, your practical speed is going to be much slower on 5 gigahertz going through a lot of walls and through a lot of structures, a lot of metal and all the electrical wires and copper wires and stuff that are in houses nowadays. It's still going to slow you down. It's going to chew up so much of the signal gets so much loss that your best bet was going to be 2.4. The further you get away from the modem. So my best bet would be you can set up both, but generally if you're going to have stuff that's locked in one room, it's only going to be in that room, and you have to hook it up to Wi-Fi. Like I said, if they've got a smart TV here, best just hook it up to 2.4. Once you start getting to these here, you get a smart TV here, you can get to 5 gigahertz and get a quicker signal. Obviously, if the modem is here, you're going to want to run a cable and connect direct. Cable is always the fastest way. You have a chance, use an actual Ethernet cable. That's the best thing you can do. So hope you like this quick tip. And let me know if you have anything else you guys want to need. I appreciate it.